Hey you guys, today I'm going to share 5 things you really need to know when using CBD oil for sleep. I've been using CBD oil for about 4 years for chronic insomnia with really good results, but it did require some experimenting along the way. So I've done the work for you, and I'm going to put this together in 5 different keys that will help you maximize your results if you're wanting to use CBD oil to get a better, deeper night of sleep. And then number 5 is going to be, I'm going to share the 2 products that work best for me, the 2 types. I shouldn't even say specifically products, but the 2 types of CBD oil that seem to work best for me. I'm Catherine, certified nutrition consultant, founder of Foods That Heal You and Foods That Heal You CBD, and I'll have information to learn more below this video in the description. For those of you who would like to learn more or are new to my channel, click subscribe, please. I also have another YouTube channel as well. All right, the first thing that you're going to want to keep in mind is that lower amounts of CBD can actually boost your energy. So if you're using CBD oil for sleep, you obviously don't want more energy when you go to bed. So I'd say anything less than 10 milligrams or less of CBD, generally speaking, is probably going to give you more of an uplifting effect rather than a calming effect that's going to help you fall asleep. So that's really important. It's called the biphasic effect. So less is more when it comes to anxiety, but you may need more to get over that hump if you're needing help sleeping. So you do need to experiment and figure out what's going to work best for you. And obviously with CBD, you're going to take it before bed if you're using it for sleep, a half an hour before bed. That's the primary way that you're going to want to use the CBD oil. And then the second thing, which kind of lines up with the first thing, is with smaller amounts, vape and drops tend to have a more uplifting effect, for me anyway, and for people that report back to me, especially vaping. Now, I have had some people tell me that the vape and the drop work for them for sleep, but I'd say the majority of people, the vapes and the drops, again, have more of an uplifting effect, and they tend to be better in the application of calmness and anxiety during daytime use. All right, so that's number 2. Number 3 is going to be consistency and time. So you want to be consistent taking it every single day because for 2 reasons. One is it builds up in your system and it's going to have a better effect over time. And then the other reason is because it's not a drug. And then the other reason you want to be consistent for sleep with CBD is because it helps regulate your sleep cycle. So if you're taking it on an as needed basis, it might work, but you're going to get the best results if you take it on a daily basis. And then with timing, you want to give it at least 2 weeks of taking it every single day. Some people, it may take 4 weeks. I know for me, it was somewhere between 2 and 3 weeks where I really started to notice my sleep was really improving. It was really solid. Like I was getting a deeper night of sleep, falling asleep faster. So it did take some time. It was not instant for me. The 4th thing is that with insomnia, a lot of times daytime anxiety can kind of overflow into the evening, or daytime stress, and then in the evening you have trouble winding down. So to expect if you have a really high, your type A personality or really high anxiety or stress, it's going to be hard to wind down and expect, CBD oil in 30 minutes to bring you down and help you sleep, right? So in that situation, and this is what I do actually, if I have a really stressful day or a highly anxious day or something, I'll use it, like vape or drops, during the day, or you can use any of them, honestly, but whatever you prefer, but during the day, and that will help keep you calmer so that at night you're not trying to go from one extreme to the other extreme. You're not trying to go from the super high stress and just all of a sudden crash down to getting to sleep. It's really hard. The mind is racing. Cortisol levels are high. When you're stressed out, they're high. And CBD oil may help balance that, but it's going to take time. So if you can keep yourself calm throughout the day, you're going to be able to sleep better. And you always want to get to the root of what is really causing the anxiety or the insomnia, because there's always something behind it, right? But the CBD oil may really be able to help you in the meantime. And then the last thing is going to be, you're going to want to look for full spectrum. And the reason for that is there's more than just one cannabinoid in the hemp extract. So you can get a CBD isolate, for example, which I explained in other videos, and that's just one of the cannabinoids. But when it comes to certain different health concerns, full spectrum is generally going to get you the better results, okay? So full spectrum is like eating the whole apple versus just peeling the skin off of it. And when it comes to sleep, there's other cannabinoids that actually may work synergistically with the CBD to help you get a better night of sleep. So that said, the two full spectrum products I personally use and like the best, and how I use them, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that and share that with you now. I divide it into two categories. One is, are you having trouble getting to sleep, or are you having trouble staying asleep? So for the most part, my issues that I've had in the past were getting to sleep and sometimes staying asleep, but usually getting to sleep has been a challenge. So what I use is the Gold Label Pure Hemp Extract. Concentrates in general, these are full spectrum. Concentrates in general, they have nothing added. They're not diluted. So the thing with, like, for example, tincture drops is they're diluted. That's why they are a liquid. This is more of a gel because it's so concentrated, but it's also full spectrum. The concentrates just tend to have a stronger effect. And one serving of the gold is only 8 milligrams, but I have compared that personally with 20 milligrams of drops, and the 8 milligrams still gives me better results. It's because it's not diluted, and you put it under your tongue, a lot of it absorbs directly under your tongue. When you put drops under there, first of all, it's diluted with the oil, the other carrier oils, and it's harder for the system to absorb. But then also it's hard to keep the drops under your tongue for a minute and a half, okay? So the concentrates in general, and I personally like the gold for falling asleep. It kicks in about 20 minutes. I can feel my mind stops racing so much. That helps me get to sleep, and it's gonna last anywhere from 5 to 8 hours for people. The drops don't last as long. That's the other downside of using drops for sleep in particular. Concentrates are going to last a little bit longer. Then if you're having trouble, let's say you're able to get to sleep, but you can't stay asleep. So the better choice for you might be an edible. But I'm not recommending necessarily gummy bears, because gummy bears are kind of lowest on the list. A lot of them use isolates. We have gummy bears, they're full spectrum, they're not an isolate, but I personally have found that the soft gels, I get the best results with the soft gels. My habit now at this point is to take one of these every single night. I sleep deeper, I make it through the night without waking up. These are raw, which is unique. They have the CBDA in them, plant terpenes. They're the full spectrum. And so that's really, I think that has a lot to do with why I seem to do the best, and a lot of other people seem to do best with the soft gels. There's nothing added, they're not diluted. They take about 45 minutes to really get in the system, and then they're gonna have a longer lasting effect. Part of that is because it does take longer for them to get in the system and digest and really have their full effect. So what I tend to do is I'll take one of those every night. And if a half an hour, 45 minutes later, I'm like, gosh, my mind is racing and I still can't get to sleep, then I'll take the gold. But most of the time, I don't even need to take the gold anymore. I used to, but I don't as much anymore because it's in my system on a daily basis. So I'm calmer in general. My sleep cycle is more regulated. I'm dealing with my stress and my anxiety at the root level. And if you do all of those things, I think you're gonna really start to experience some results and start getting a better night of sleep. If there's a question that you might personally have about sleep, that you're having trouble sleeping, or something's not working for you, comment below. I'd like to hear that, and I will answer the best that I know. And also be sure to check out my website, foodsthathealyou.com, foodsthathealyoucbd.com. Click like if you like this video, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.